She killed God's prophets. Not one, not 10, hundreds. She hunted them down, and she had them slaughtered. And when it was over, she sat on her throne, and nothing happened. No lightning, no plague, no judgment. For years, nothing. And that's the part of Jezebel's story that should disturb you. Not that God eventually judged her, but that he waited so long. It looked like he never would. Jezebel was not Israelite. She was a Phoenician princess, daughter of a king who was also a pagan priest. When she married King Ahab of Israel, she didn't come to worship Israel's God. She came to replace him. She brought Baal worship into the heart of Israel, installed 450 prophets of Baal, then ordered the prophets of the Lord hunted and killed. She was strategic, brilliant, relentless, but hidden in the wilderness, one prophet survived. Elijah. Elijah challenged her 450 prophets to a contest on Mount Carmel. One altar for Baal, one for the Lord. Whichever God answered by fire, he was the true God. Baal's prophets went first. They called out all morning, danced, cut themselves, screamed. Nothing. Elijah drenched his altar with water 3 times, prayed one prayer. Fire fell from heaven, consumed everything. The people fell on their faces. The prophets of Baal were executed. That should have been the end of Jezebel. It wasn't. She didn't repent. She sent a death threat to Elijah. The man who called fire from heaven ran. That's how terrifying she was. If you've ever watched someone get away with something and wondered where God was, if you've ever mistaken his patience for his absence, subscribe to Bible Bits. Because what Jezebel did next finally revealed the line she should never have crossed. A man named Naboth owned a vineyard next to the palace. Ahab wanted it. Naboth refused. It was his family's inheritance. Ahab sulked like a child, refused to eat. Jezebel said, "Are you not the king? Get up, I will give you the vineyard." She wrote letters in Ahab's name. Had 2 men accuse Naboth of cursing God. They stoned him to death. Jezebel handed Ahab the vineyard like a gift. But God had seen everything. Elijah met Ahab in that stolen vineyard and spoke a prophecy. "Dogs will lick your blood where they licked the blood of Naboth." And about Jezebel, "Dogs will eat Jezebel by the wall of Jezreel." Years passed. Ahab died. Jezebel lived on, still powerful, still untouched. Until the day a commander named Jehu came riding toward Jezreel. Here's the part that haunts people. Jezebel saw Jehu coming. She knew what was about to happen. She didn't run. She didn't beg. She put on eye makeup. She fixed her hair. She sat in the window. And when Jehu looked up, she taunted him. Even at the end, she refused to bend. Jehu called out, "Who is on my side? Throw her down." They threw her down. And the prophecy Elijah spoke years earlier was fulfilled to the letter. When they went to bury her, there was almost nothing left. The dogs had come, just as God had said. Jezebel was brilliant, powerful, fearless to the very end, and none of it saved her. Not because God is cruel, but because Jezebel mistook his patience for weakness, his silence for permission, his mercy for absence. She was given years, decades, chance after chance to turn back. Fire fell from heaven, and she sent a death threat. An innocent man's blood cried out, and she stole his land. Every warning was met with defiance, and when judgment finally came, it didn't come in anger. It came in exactness, every word fulfilled, every detail remembered. The God who waits is still the God who sees. And sometimes the most dangerous thing isn't his judgment. It's mistaking his patience for something it was never meant to be.
She came
Amen.
from a kingdom of idols and fire, a princess raised among power and desire. She crossed into Israel wearing a crown, and slowly the altars of God were torn down. She spoke and men trembled, she commanded with ease. Kings bent their ears to whatever she pleased. Her palace was shining with ivory and gold, yet a storm was arising that no one could hold. She built up false altars on every high hill, and silenced the prophets who would not bend their will. The nation grew darker beneath her command, as shadows spread slowly across the land. She thought she held power that never would end. She never imagined she'd answer to heaven. Oh, Jezebel, queen of the night, surrounded by splendor and wrapped up in might. You gained the whole kingdom, but lost what was true. The God of all heaven still called out to you. Warning after warning came into your days, yet pride kept your heart from changing your ways. The throne that looked endless was only for a while. No crown can outlast the judgment of God. A prophet stood boldly before king and queen. There will be no rain till the Lord's glory is seen. The skies became brass and the rivers ran dry. Still Jezebel hardened her heart to the sky. Then fire came falling on Mount Carmel's height. The people cried out, "The Lord is God tonight." A miracle happened for all eyes to see, yet pride would not bend even on bended knee. She threatened the prophet and hunted him still, believing her power could conquer God's will. But kingdoms are fragile and crowns fade away, and every ruler must answer someday. Oh, Jezebel, queen of the night, surrounded by splendor and wrapped up in might. You gained the whole kingdom, but lost what was true. The God of all heaven still called out to you. Warning after warning came into your days, yet pride kept your heart from changing your ways. The throne that looked endless was only for a while. No crown can outlast the judgment of God. Then came a vineyard, a man and his land, a king who desired what was not in his hand. A scheme was conceived in the palace that day, and innocence paid a terrible price. But heaven remembers what earth overlooks. Every secret is written in heavenly books. A prophet arrived with words sharp and clear. The harvest of choices is drawing near. Years rolled onward like rivers to sea. The queen still believed she was finally free. Then a new king came with judgment in view, and the hour she never expected broke through. Oh, Jezebel, queen of the night, your story still echoes through all of our days. Beware of the pride that slowly betrays. For kingdoms may rise and rulers may fall, but the God of all heaven still reigns over all. She had wealth, she had influence, she had everything the world calls success. But she made herself an enemy of God, and the crown she fought so hard to keep could not save her in the end. For every throne is temporary except his. Except his.